on the Facebook, and now I'm flipping to the YouTube channel. Um, I just wanted to add my voice to the many voices in Liberia. And we were the ones that brought the government to power. I'm talking about Joseph Nima Baka. We helped to bring it to power simply because the previous government had a lot of young people who were inexperienced and they were only looking for wealth for their pocket. That's what they were doing. And that's what make us like, if you were elected, right, to do what the people elected you to do, deliver the goods to them, and don't hold the country hostage by corrupting the system. It's like the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Those in government, they enjoy the most, and they are making bigger money, while the civil servants who are doing the actual job are being underpaid. That's the reason why I'm speaking. But my point that I'm making here is Liberia is like a country that is not secure right now. It's like a gangster paradise. I'm sorry to say, but I'm just being candid. I'm just being objective. I'm just being realistic. What happened on Wednesday? It was unprofessional at a higher level. I can tell you that. If an IG is giving an order rather, to remove to remove biker from the streets, because I remember in 2014, the motorcycle in Monrovia, they were getting killed in their number because they were amateur rider. It is their daily bread, right? But the thing here is, most of them were plotting the major highways, and it was causing tragic motor accident, right? And for that reason, when you go to the hospital, you see a lot of them being killed or in the hospital. Because why? Hey Clara, how you doing? Thank you for coming. I appreciate that. Thank you. Because a lot of them were not trained to be a biker. And so Manasali passed an order that you guys got to just stop, at the junction. You can continue doing your whatever you want to do, but stop at the junction. And the police were giving the order to actually, remove them from major streets. And it caught tail because they, I can tell you, when I went to Monrovia 2014, I was driving, like going to town. They are out of control, man. They are completely out of control. I mean, they are everywhere. And as you're driving, when you look right, you look left, they're all over the place, the road. And when you make a mistake to hit or wrong over one of them, they will put together and they will come after you. If you're not lucky, they will burn the car and beat you up. That's what they were doing. It's like most of them were behaving like rebels. I can tell you this. And Manasali couldn't stand there and say, hey man, we gotta put this under control. Now, with Joe Bwaka in power again, it's happening again, right? And so an order was given to the IG, Gregory Coma, who is the Inspector General of the police, right? Say, hey, we don't want those guys to be riding in the major streets without helmets. And there should be certain area where it can be no-go zone, right? And they were implementing the orders. But the police They were using excessive force, right? Look, the biker. I'm not going to defend the police, but the bikers, right? The bikers, most of them, right, are not trained, and most of them are professional riders. But the thing is, if you get an order to actually like, hey, there's no go zone, you have to use some, got to use a helmet before you can go because a lot of you are dying in your number, and it's a tragic motor accident because you guys are unprofessional rider, and we want to curtail, the death rate, right? But here's the thing: if the police say, hey, don't go over there, and he or she refused to actually, you can take the bike without beating on them. That's my thing. You can confiscate the bike because it's no, it's a common sense. Take the man bike. I'm not going to actually, you know, put you in the car if you're resisting arrest. Give me your number and follow me to zone 3 or zone 4 or zone 5. They will follow you to actually, but you confiscate their bike and you beating on them using excessive force. And I thought it's bad. You don't do that, right? Because most of the bikers, they have little education. And most of them held on. They need to be traumatized. They need to be, how they call it, integrated into the society. And some of them, because of that, they still get a rebel mentality with like rocks in their hair and they are actually behaving the way they behave it, right? But Gregory Coma, I'm speaking to you. I was just going live on Facebook and I'm flipping now on YouTube. If I were you, give them the right orders. If they are confiscating bike, take down the numbers of those bikes that have been confiscated and you can tell them to follow. If anybody misbehaving, of course, then you have the right to actually arrest them. But for you to actually um Clara, I don't know what you're talking about. What is the General Police IG? It's Inspector General. It's called um Gregory Como. That's his name. Inspector General Gregory Como, if you want to know. But I didn't understand what you actually writing over there, but thank you for watching. Right? So my point I'm making here is that an incident that took place on Wednesday in Monrovia, specifically SD Cooper Road, outside Monrovia, between it's in Pineville, at SD Cooper Road and EAW Junction. An AFL personnel was not in uniform. He was on his bike trying to go to the no-go zone. And the police said, no, sorry, you can't go. And he tried to actually be a little aggressive. So they took the bike. But then they forced him to get in the car. And he said, I'm not getting in the car. I am one of you. I am an AFL personnel. So they said, well, if you are one, if you break the law, you pay the price. So get in the car. He tried to resist an arrest, and the police were able to use an excessive force. And he got wounded and rushed to the hospital. That was on Wednesday. Now, the AFL personnel, when they got the information that one of them were beaten up by the police, 10 of them got in their Jeep and they decided to go for retribution, to go for revenge, to retaliate. And I thought it is unprofessional. So when they got over there, the police that did the beating wasn't there. They had one William Clark or William David and beat him up. And he got bruised on his face. He got cut on the head. And I thought it was bad. So this sent a real bad signal um to the outside world. It's like the two major security forces that we depend on, the entity that was supposed to actually, that's supposed to protect us or civilian. They are the ones fighting among themselves. And people got afraid. It was chaotic. At some point, um, the civilian were cheering, the army personnel for the retribution of one of them that got beat up. And the civilian was like, oh yeah, go ahead, do this. That's good. It was like a misreaction, right? And I thought it's bad. AFL, the Armed Forces of Liberia, is the defense, entity to actually defend the country. But they are going, a lockerhead with one another, especially with the police. I thought it was bad. Now, if you ask me, what would you do as an inspector general or the chief of staff of the AFL when the both, entity uh, are misbehaving? I was going to be like, okay, the police that actually beat on AFL personnel, we are going to investigate, and if they are found guilty, they're going to be suspended pending. If possible, they can lose their job. And the army personnel that did that too, they went the next day for retribution. That is to revenge for their own. Those army personnel were going to do uniform or military justice, UCMJ. If they are found guilty, they can be dismissed dishonorably. That would send a signal because Liberia is a country of law. It's not a country that is outlaw. But the way I look at it, the country is actually like an outlaw right now because the bikers, when they are riding in the streets of Monrovia, somebody can actually take away people's cell phone. Somebody can go, misbehave, and some of them steal their friend bike. It's like it's a complete, outlaw behavior. So if you really want to get a real good Liberia, the way the IG is operating, that's the way to go. But at the same time, too, they should do with moderation, not to hurt people. That's my thing. So again, to those of you that are watching me, I'm Jim Wratto Jr. And if I were the president, I was going to make sure I invite the police director, I invite the chief of staff, I invite the justice minister, and I invite the NSA director, or the security apparatus, the hair. I will invite them and tell them what's going on here. Go and do an investigation. I give you an assignment, and this is actually causing chaos. Whoever responsible, deal with them. And that will send a message to these unprofessional police and unprofessional army personnel and other security apparatus. That will send a signal to them. And so that is just my take. But I think, or I thought, that Gregory Coma is doing a good job. I can tell you this. Gregory Coma is doing a very good job. But people that are actually, doing the work outside on the field are the ones who are behaving unprofessional. But I think it's going to take time. And let me say this to all of you Liberians that are watching me. I want to say this to all of you. You know, if an election comes, election is over, there will be politics. Um, but we cannot continue to politicize everything. What happened on Wednesday, it can happen anywhere. It happened because there was a misunderstanding and a successful use by the police and the rest of the AFL personnel going to for retribution. I think they were just being kind of like, rude, and they need to be punished. But my point I'm making here is if a president is elected and campaign is over, there can be politics. But we cannot continue to politicize everything. That will not make our country to go to the next level. We need an infrastructure development. We need roads, bridges, school, and you name it. But we don't have to stay. We are still in the process. So whoever gets there, if we actually give, criticize, and at the end of the day, we give a solution, then of course, we are helping the government to succeed. But if we continue to be critical, and you're not giving a solution, then of course I think it's like the Spoon TV. They are being critical right now with a bunch of sedition. They're being critical. I mean, it's right. But if you criticize, then you must give a solution. Like, for example, Omen Joe Baka here do a cabinet reshuffle, right? Omen Joe Baka here, okay, we want you to actually cut down the salary of the lawmakers. Omen Joe Baka here, so we want you to actually go away so that you can arrange for a flight to Liberia. Woman Joe Baka, yeah, we want you to do visa on arrival because like once a Liberian, we all be a Liberian. There's no need to get a visa to go back to your home. Those are solutions, but you've been critical without coming up with solution. And I thought it's bad, and we need to actually help because if Woman Joe Baka fail, then the country fails. If Joy we have failed, then the country fail. But I see a whole bunch of greater politicians who are actually being critiqued, but they cannot give a solution, right? They cannot give a solution. And we need to stop that. Liberia is the oldest African republic, but we are the poorest when it comes to abject poverty. We are number one, right? A bunch of jokers going in the House of Representatives and Senators, just because to actually fold their pocket and they don't care. After speaking right now, there are um pos- two persons that are speaker, Senator Kofa and Rachel Kuhn. Senator was elected legitimately. Hey, how you doing, sir? How you doing, Helsinki? Oh, how are you? Senator was elected legitimately, and Rachel Kuhn tried to actually rebel to bring people, and that he's the next speaker. No, you did not win the threshold of 49 signatures. You did not reach the threshold of 49 signatures. And you trying to actually force your way into office. And those lawmakers who are the majority blacks because they are doing the right thing, and most of them are being held, right? It's like since October. That's not right. You need to actually give them their salary. They got family. They got wife and kids. Why are you not giving the benefit that is given to them? Hey, Hassan, thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So, and before I leave, I want to say to those that are watching me right here, right now, I'm speaking to Liberians, I'm speaking to foreign national. There was an executive order signed the last time that illegal immigrant and undocumented. They got illegal immigrant and they got undocumented, right? Undocumented are people that cross the border and they not go through the proper channel. Those are undocumented. The illegal ones, those people that are came here and visited and their visitation expired, those are here illegally. But I want to say to all of you, it takes time. It's a process. So even though Donald Trump signed an executive order for ICE, immigration, custom enforcement to do mass deportation, I think he had to slow down because why? Most of the people in country, the Mexican, Salvadoran, the African, and you name them, they are doing the jobs that the original way cannot do, right? They are doing the job that the white cannot do. As I speak to you right here, right now, there are some people who are here illegally, but they are taking care of the older folks in the next home. There are people who are on the plantation that are actually working on the farm. There are people that are doing housekeeping for various hotels and casinos. Those jobs that they are doing, The white cannot do that. So if you doing mass deportation, you have to think twice because those people are helping your country to be strong. Those people are helping your country to actually boost the economy rather. But if you actually start to like, you know what, you Donald Trump, you came from somewhere too. Your wife is an immigrant. Even yourself, you came from, somewhere. We all came from somewhere. So I mean, it is your job to with the executive power, but slow down with the executive power. Because why? If you don't do that, you're going to be hurting the country. And I'm not defending those who are undocumented and those who are illegal. I'm not speaking that you got to slow down. But again, let's on the flip side, there are people too who came here to seek greener pasture, but they are involved in drug trafficking. They are involved in armed robbery. They are involved in carjacking. So those people, they are criminals. We can go after them, right? Those who came here and decided to actually, involve themselves in criminal activities, those one, I can't talk for them. But those ones that are here to see greener pasture and working on the plantation and working on the corn farm and working as a housekeeper, working in a nursing home, they are jobs that you cannot do. They gotta do them. So those people, I think you got to give them amnesty. And those criminals who are criminal, you send them back. That's my thing. So again, if we get executive power, don't misuse it and don't abuse it. People are doing the best they can to help their people back home because of the idea of poverty in their home. So again, I want to say thank you all for watching. God is going to bless you. You're not going to be made shame. Your document will come in the mailbox. It's a process. It takes time. But again, thank you all for watching. I'm Jim Wratto Jr. Have yourself a wonderful day. Bye for now.